When Pastor Downs asked me to say a few words for Mother's Day, the first thing that came to mind of my mum was that she was a very industrious lady, she was. And I'd just like to share a few of these things with you. We were brought up in a home that wasn't wealthy or nothing like that, but Mum filled the gaps in everything that she'd done. I can always remember coming home from school, and if I wasn't home in time, she'd come looking for me because I'd be around the corner and I was bullied at school and I'd be in a fight and I could hear Mum coming up the road roaring, Ray, 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 stop that. So that was one. Anyhow, another thing was I can remember Mum, every Friday she'd be up at the crack of dawn, about 5 o'clock, and she'd cook until midday, and she'd cook the whole week's biscuits and cakes and everything, and I could always be hanging around Mum, wanting to lick the bowls and all that sort of stuff, and that was good. I can remember when the Iceman came. We never had a fridge, we had a big ice box, we did, and he'd come with a big block of ice, and Mum would break the ice up and we'd be hanging around Mum waiting to grab a chunk of ice and go. Mum made all our clothes, she did. I remember sitting there of a night time and I'd be sitting around her, and she had one of them sewing machines where they had the pedals on them. It wasn't an electric or nothing like that, and she'd make all our school clothes and clothes to go out with, etc. And Mum did eventually get an electric sewing machine. She dug spuds, she did, potatoes, and she'd bag them up and sell them. And that's how she got her electric sewing machine. But I can see that Mum had that Proverbs 31, even though she never knew it. It was an instinct that Mum had. And then when there was trouble and that, Mum would be like a mother hen. We all knew where to run, and we'd gather around Mum and that, and she'd cuddle us and give us a kiss and that. And also I used to suffer from nightmares, and I'd come in of a night and I wouldn't go around where Dad was because he'd go crook, but I'd go around where Mum was and she could feel me there. So Mum would move over and then I'd get into bed with her and she'd cuddle me and I'd cuddle into Mum. But yeah, I miss Mum and that, but happy Mother's Day, Mum.